ladies and gentlemen, to our week 3 of Thursday Crew Hawk Talk. You're listening to 91.7 The Edge, WSUW Whitewater, and tuning in to UWW TV on YouTube. Appreciate you guys tuning in. As always, we have our fantastic crew of Hunter, Adam, Chris, Alex, and Ryan here with us today. Gentlemen, how are we doing today?
Very good.
Fantastic.
Phenomenal.
Awesome.
Great to hear. With that being said, let's get into our Warhawk thought today, which is who do you think is the most underrated sports player of all time? Again, this can be among any sport, and it shouldn't be someone too obvious. So let's start with Hunter for this one.
Personally, I don't know if we say he's underrated, but I'm going to go with Baker Mayfield. I've always thought he's been a very solid QB. And he led that Browns team, to the playoffs and won the first round against the Steelers that year and almost beat the Chiefs. Got very unlucky. I remember there was a part in that game where it should have been their ball. I remember it got fumbled out the end zone or something. I can't remember. It was a long time ago. But Baker Mayfield for me is the most underrated QB in my book.
Okay, yeah, and a lot of people now looking at the Browns situation probably think that they moved on from him a little too early. First playoff win in 31 years, and then just moved on from
Deshaun Watson is not the answer.
Yeah, definitely not. I'd
Yeah,
say.
he's not.
Adam, let's move to you.
So I went with Sal Bando. I don't know if you've heard of him or not.
I don't think I have, no.
No, he was with the Brewers for the last 5 seasons of his career. I'd say he's underrated because he was the one player during that 70s Oakland A's dynasty that basically was the glue that held them together. He never really got the same amount of attention, I would think, because you had Reggie Jackson on that team and that great pitching staff as well. I mean he led the A's in RBIs 3 times when he was there. He was a 4-time All-Star, and he was the second third baseman in AL history to hit 200 home runs because he had he had 242 in total. So he when he was with the Brewers his last 5 seasons of his career, he ended up being the mentor of Robin Yount and Paul Molitor. So yeah, he's definitely my underrated player.
Yeah, Sal Bando, crazy pull. Yeah, I was going to say, can't say I've ever heard of this guy, yet does, as I'm looking him up right now, does look like he was on Milwaukee toward the back half of his career. Top 4 in MVP voting 3 different years. So yeah, Sal Bando hopefully now is on people's radar. So let's move over to Chris.
Well, the late Sal Bando, that is.
I'm going to go Torrey Holt.
Okay.
I just don't know how this guy doesn't get talked about that much. They look at Chris Carter from the Vikings, and they got similar numbers, and Carter made the Hall of Fame and Holt isn't in. That's crazy. Holt is Super Bowl champion, made it to 7 Pro Bowls. He's an All-Pro, over 13,000 yards receiving, 74 touchdowns, and he was a solid receiver in his career, and the fact that he doesn't get appreciated enough and isn't in the Hall of Fame is crazy to me.
Yeah, still not in the Hall of Fame. I think he's been on social media multiple times, asking why isn't he in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
Is co-wide receiver Isaac Bruce obviously is in the Hall of Fame, but kind of surprising that he is not.
It's a literal crime that he's not in the Hall of Fame.
I would agree with that. All right, let's move over to Alex.
I'm going to keep it with what Chris was saying. So I chose another wide receiver from that late 2000s group, which you could choose a lot of wide receivers out of this. This is one of the best years for wide receivers of all time. The era was just insane. I chose Marquise Colston, who is a saint. I think most of you guys probably know that. He has 6 1,000-yard seasons, 72 touchdowns in 10 years, and when healthy would average 1,000 yards a season and 8+ touchdowns a season. He never made a single Pro Bowl. And the problem was the era. You had Chad Ochocinco, Marvin Harrison, Reggie Wayne, Larry Fitz, Andre Johnson, Calvin Johnson, Randy Moss, and that's just to name a few. And it was very easy for players to become overlooked and overshadowed, and he became just one of those guys that was overlooked and overshadowed. So
yeah, one of the go-to guys for Drew Brees, I believe, in that era. I remember playing with Marquez Colston on the Wii, Madden 11. Oh my goodness, yeah, that guy was a stud back in Madden 11. All right, Marquez Colston. All right, let's go over to Ryan now.
I went with 2 running backs from a pretty similar era. You got Frank Gore and DeMarco Murray. Frank Gore is one of the more notable guys you're going to get from that. He had 5 Pro Bowls. 10 out of his 16 seasons, he finished with 960+ rushing yards. Finished exactly on the dot at 16,000 career rushing yards in 16 seasons, so 1,000 a year is what he averaged. And finished with 81 rushing touchdowns and he was just a phenomenal player that you could rely on to get you yards out of the backfield. And then for DeMarco Murray, I mean, his career was like short. It was only 7 years long, but he still rushed for 1,845 yards in 2014, had 13 touchdowns. He was third in MVP voting that year, and like people just forget about him. He won Offensive Player of the Year that year as well, and 3 Pro Bowls, 1 All-Pro, and finished with 7,100 rushing yards and 49 touchdowns in his career.
Yeah, would eventually be replaced by Derrick Henry, as we all know. But yeah, back in his day, yeah, he was a very good running back.
He was a dog.
He was. Yeah. So for my underrated player, I was considering Jarvis Landry, wide receiver that used to play for the Dolphins and went on to be Browns and Saints. But I'm actually going to go with D'Angelo Williams.
Okay.
Kind of a crazy pull, running back who played for both the Panthers and the Steelers. He's a one-time Pro Bowler. Now, he wasn't like a stud running back by any means. Back in 2008, he did have 1,500 yards and 18 touchdowns. But kind of a journeyman running back. But when this guy got in the game, he was a difference maker. As many of you know, he was a backup to Le'Veon Bell, and it seemed like whenever he came in, he would just absolutely tear it up for the Steelers. So
Laz gave me a basketball one today too, in Hito Turkoglu. So
that was from Laz?
yeah, Laz told me to shout out Hito Turkoglu today.
Definitely sounds like a Laz play right there. All right, so with that all being said, we're going to move on to our first topic of the day, and that's going to be the Week 6 picks. We're going to go a little bit shorter with this. We're going to kind of run through this a little bit quicker just so we can get some other topics, so we're not just giving you guys picks. Well, we're going to give you the picks. We're going to be right all the time, but we're not going to go too in-depth with it today. So starting off with the game tonight, Thursday night game, we have the San Francisco 49ers going up against the Seahawks. Niners come in 2-3, and Seahawks come in 3-2. Definitely looks to be one of the better Thursday night matchups of the season. And we're going to start with Chris for this one. Who you have?
I got the Seahawks. I know that last week was a rough. I meant the 49ers. I know last week was a rough one for them. They lost to the Cardinals. I know, Ryan. I know. But I think they bounce back. At least I think they do. And the season's still alive for them because first off, it's early, and secondly, the NFC's wide open because a lot of those teams we consider powerhouses are also struggling. Philadelphia, Dallas. There's still a lot of hope for San Francisco, and Seattle's a solid team, but I think the 49ers take it.
Okay, moving over to Alex.
Yeah, the Seahawks are one game ahead of the 49ers in the NFC West as of now, and Seattle is also one spot in front of the 49ers in the power rankings. I think this is a must-win for the 49ers. Although the 49ers O-line has the 8th most sacks allowed at 13, and the Seahawks' aggressive defense had the 5th most sacks allowed in the NFL, the 5th most sacks in the NFL right now with 17. I just believe that if the 49ers can stop this pass rush, they can really just rip it up with their offense. They have an insane offense with great weapons. And I think Jordan Mason gets another 80-yard rushing game. I think it's going to be a shootout, and I think the 49ers will take it here.
All right. And over to Ryan. Is there another upset coming for the Niners?
No. I think I'm a big Cardinals believer. None of you guys were last week, and look who was right on that one.
Lucky pick.
It was not a lucky pick. You got to believe in Marvin Harrison.
Very
and
lucky
Kyler.
pick.
How can you not believe in Kyler and Marvin Harrison? Anyways, I'm not going to get into this right now, Chris. All right. We already talked about this in J227. I'm going with the Niners as well here. The Seahawks are so banged up on the defensive side. Tariq Woolen's out with an ankle injury. Byron Murphy out with a hamstring. And their linebacker, Uchenna Nwosu, out with a thigh. Julian Love is also questionable in a game-time decision with a thigh injury as well. I mean, the Niners are their offense is, very explosive, like Alex was saying, and they're going to tear the top off this off the Seahawks defense, and they'll snap out of the fluke, and they'll run the score up, and, yeah.
Okay, here we got 3-0 for the Niners. Moving over to Hunter.
I'm going to break that trend. I'm going with the Seahawks tonight. I think the Seahawks bounce back after a very sad loss last week off a blocked field goal. I think the Seahawks win it at home in their throwback jerseys tonight.
All right, and over to Adam.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not going to continue your trend. I'm going with the Niners because, in the fishbowl, that Seahawks defense is just banged up right now. I mean, I just don't see how they could handle the Niners offense. So, give me the Niners tonight.
Okay, and I could not agree more. I agree that the Seahawks are a little bit too banged up, and the Niners are still the Niners, maybe, possibly. I kind of think so. So
Maybe.
we're going to go with the Niners as a group for this game tonight. And getting into the rest of the slate, we have our second London game. Not as great of a matchup. Jaguars-Bears, kind of an ugly game. And we're going to start with Adam for this one. Who you have?
I might have the Bears over the Jags, actually. I just don't think, the Jaguars can, really catch up with the Bears in London. So, yeah, I'm definitely going with the Bears.
Okay, over to Chris.
I hate to say it, but I got to go the Bears too. This is
As much as it pains us.
yeah.
Dull Bears.
This is
Bears.
This is going to be a tough game to watch, because both teams aren't that great. But Chicago, again, I always bring it up. They're still learning together. It's their first year. I think a big problem for them is coaching and their O-line. And if they figure that out, I think the Bears will be a solid team. With that being said, Jacksonville is just they've been struggling bad this year. And Trevor Lawrence, I don't know what happened to the guy. He had that one great year. They made a little run in the playoffs, and just since then, he's just gone. But I got to go Chicago on this one.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence, I believe, tied for the highest paid quarterback. Is the highest paid quarterback?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
I think it is.
Either way, too much money. All right, over to Alex.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the Bears here as well. I think Caleb Williams is finally starting to find his groove, starting to really get into it, and that receiving core is on paper a great trio, and that defense is really good as well. I have to take the Bears here over the Jags.
All right, and over to Ryan.
I don't want to take either team here, but I think the Bears get the edge in this one. And Caleb
You could
Williams.
say tie.
I could say.
You could say a tie.
I could say a tie, just to be different, but no. The Bears are 1-1 in their London games. Caleb Williams has been playing better as of lately. We saw Roshan Johnson get in the end zone last week. If they can, DeAndre Swift was not happy about him taking the touchdowns there. You could see on the TV, but I think Caleb, as he gets comfortable in this offense, their O-line is still horrible. He's still running around like a 12-year-old back there, but the Bears, I think they get it done.
Okay, yeah, and like you were saying, kind of an interesting matchup to send the NFL overseas to London. I don't know if London would want to watch this kind of game. Maybe they don't know enough about the NFL for it to make a difference, but they should probably start sending better matchups over there. Let's go over to Hunter.
I'm going to keep this one short and sweet. This is going to be my second upset of the week. Give me the Jaguars in London. I think they clicked last week. Their defense was a bit shaky, giving up 30-plus points, but I think the Jaguars take this one in London.
Okay, Doug Peterson staying on the coaching staff for one more week. And seems that we are going to have to go with the Bears. Sorry to all the Packer fans. I believe that I also have the Bears. I just think that their defense is too overwhelming. And like you said, kind of surprised we haven't seen much from Trevor Lawrence, given he was one of the most highly touted college prospects coming out of college. And let's move over into the slate. Packer fans, we have the matchup between the Cardinals and the Packers. We're going to start with Ryan for this one, just because he picked the Cardinals last week. So are you going to stick with the Cardinals once again?
No, I got my homer pick here. This is the Packers game. They clicked last week. It was not a great game at all, though. Xavier McKinney with his 5th interception in 5 games. That's fantastic to see. And I saw something today that Jaden Reed's ball that he caught, the 50-yard bomb from Love, that apparently he didn't even see the ball go into his hands, which was pretty remarkable. Love put that one right on the dot. But I think with Dobbs back this week, hopefully they got that issue resolved. I think the Packers take this one.
Would you say that Xavier McKinney is the depoy as of right now?
I would say he's leading it right now, yes.
Okay, I would agree with that. Now let's go over to Alex.
So I learned a thing or two from Ryan. I'm taking the Cardinals. I cannot count the Cardinals out. I think Kyler Murray, that run game against the 49ers was insane. Kyler Murray was running everywhere all over him, and it was insane. And a big win against the 49ers, I think that's definitely going to carry into this next week against the Packers here. I think the Cardinals take it.
Okay, yeah, Cardinals, I would say, are a lot better than their 2-3 record would say. And I'm starting to think we have some low-key Cardinal fans in this room, specifically in the fishbowl over there. But let's keep it moving with Chris.
I certainly think Kyler Murray will throw a pick to Xavier McKinney, make that 6-6. And I think the Packers take the victory. Last week was a bit shaky for them, but that towards the end of the game, Love, was pretty solid. The Cardinals, as much as I talk with Ryan about it, I think Murray and Harrison are a good duo and they're clicking together. But I think Green Bay is gonna hold them down at Lambeau, and I think the Packers take it.
All right, 2 Packers, 1 Cardinals. Over to Adam.
I'm going to have to go with Green Bay on this one. And yes, 6 for 6 for Xavier McKinney. Like, hands down, there's no way that he's not going to get a pick this week off of Kyler Murray.
All right. Well, I mean, if he keeps this up, he's going to break the all-time
Actually,
interception record.
I'm going to
Well, I
make a
thought he has
statement.
already. Just for over a whole season, I'm saying. 'Cause I think
Oh,
Nitrate
okay,
Lane
okay.
has the record with 14. Gets
Oh,
one
okay.
every single game. He's getting 16 interceptions. So
Oh,
impressive.
okay. That
I'm
makes
going to make a
sense.
statement. I think McKinney picks off Murray 2 times.
2 times.
Ooh,
Two
oh,
times.
My goodness.
That-
Okay.
That's a bold prediction.
That is a very bold prediction. Scorching hot over there in the fishbowl. Yeah, let's go over to
That's
Ryan.
how we do it.
Oh, sorry, Hunter. I apologize.
You're good.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm going to go with the Packers in this one. They gave me a slight heart attack last weekend against the Rams. Very scary coming down. Thank God for Evan Williams on 4th and 5 to break up that pass to get the Packers win. I'm going to get the Packers to get back-to-back wins this week.
Yeah, very good showing from Williams. He's a rookie, I believe, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and he is showing out. That Packers defense looks very good.
It's McKinney, Bullard, and Williams back there. It's good to watch.
And Jair when he's healthy.
When he's
When he's healthy. So I also have the Packers in this game, and let's move on to the Colts and Titans. Another not so great matchup. Let's start with Alex for this one.
I actually have the Colts beating the Titans here. I mean, Titans just don't look great still, and if Joe Flacco continues to do what he's doing, I think he can beat this Titans team pretty easily. I'm going Colts.
Okay, not sure if Anthony Richardson is going to play. I was going to say that would definitely sway my pick if Joe Flacco is playing. I'm
Yeah.
not really sure because Flacco was dealing last week. They lost to
He-
the Jaguars, man. I'm a Colts fan. That just hurts so bad.
It's
All right.
looking like Richardson's gonna play.
He's gonna play.
Okay, so then that.
I think I'll stick with the Colts here.
All right, okay.
Titans
Yeah.
aren't great, so
I don't know. That
hopefully
might
they
change
get
my
the win.
pick. Let's go over to Ryan.
I'm a big Will Levis guy when he's playing well. And I think he has a pretty good game this week, and he beats the division rival Colts.
Yeah, Levis got benched last week, didn't he, for Mason Rudolph, I believe.
That he did, but he will be back. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Are we getting another picture this week or no? Will Levis picture?
It seems like it's a weekly occurrence at this point. I mean, Jordan Love had the picture last week when he was when he was throwing it when he threw the pick six. But
Yeah. Well, I think we're gonna get another one. I think it's just gonna be every single game this season. Someone's gonna find something. All right, let's go over to Hunter.
I got the Colts in this one with Jonathan Taylor being back. I think their offense is going to click again. And I honestly like Joe Flacco more than I like Richardson. So, Joe Flacco, I mean, you saw what he did last year with the Browns. So, I expect the same things this year.
Yeah, you are preaching to the choir here. I always thought that Anthony Richardson, not that much experience coming out of college, wasn't exactly a polished passer. Thought he should have sat behind a veteran like Joe Flacco just to get him to develop. But instead, now a little bit too late for that. Yeah. Joe Flacco masterclass. So let's move over to Adam.
Actually, I have the Titans in this game. Now, in terms of why I think that, I don't really know. It's just a gut feeling, honestly. I just feel like the Titans are going to somehow win
Hey,
for a change.
gut feelings are not the worst feelings. Sometimes
No,
those are
sometimes I'm
absolutely
right.
Yeah, sometimes
Yeah.
they're absolutely right. All right, and let's go over to Chris.
I gotta go with the Colts. The Titans have just been. I don't know what to say about the Titans. I don't
Also,
know
the Colts.
what.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, Colts sold the Colts.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I just see the Titans as just the worst team, and the Colts. They should definitely play Joe Flacco. I think Richardson, like you said, and I even saw it, do the Rodgers Love treatment. Let Richardson sit of it and learn from Flacco, especially because I don't think we talked about it much, but last year, what Flacco did in Cleveland to get him to the playoffs, and not just get to the playoffs, the 5 seed, that was pretty good. Especially that doesn't help that Deshaun Watson's not very good, but I think if you should play Flacco, and I think even if they don't, I think the Colts still win, especially if Taylor's back, because Tennessee just doesn't look too great. Neither does Indianapolis, but I think out of the two, I think Indianapolis is just slightly better.
Yep, I wholeheartedly agree. I also have the Colts in this matchup. I just believe whatever quarterback is out there, yeah, like you said, I don't really believe in what I'm seeing from the Titans. Let's move over to our next matchup, which is Texans and Patriots. Seems a little more clear-cut for this matchup. We're going to start with Hunter for this one.
I'm going to go with the Texans in this one. Unfortunately, they did lose Nico Collins, but Stephon Diggs is on my fantasy team, so the next 4 weeks look pretty good.
All right, over to Adam.
Yeah, I have the Texans too because, I mean, yeah, Nico Collins is hurt, but I just think that C.J. Stroud is just too good. So, yeah. So, yeah, give me the Texans.
All right, and I'm going to ask the Fishbowl collectively because I feel like I know what you guys are going to pick. So, do you guys have Texans or Patriots in this game?
Texans.
Texans.
Okay, yeah, I kind of assumed this is the first time we're going to see Drake May start an NFL football game. A little bit surprising that they would start him against the Texans with how good of a defensive front they have. Could possibly, get him uncomfortable. You're going to have Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson, in your face all game. So, see what Drake May is made of. And let's move over to our next matchup. We have Buccaneers and Saints. And being a Saints game, I think we're going to start with Alex over here.
I've picked the Saints the last 3 weeks, and they have really not done me any good. So I'm actually going to take the Buccaneers here.
Wow, okay.
I hope Spencer Rattler.
Are we okay over here in the fishbowl? What?
I hope Spencer Rattler has a good game. I hope he plays just plays his game and does well. It is a divisional matchup, so hopefully I'm expecting a pretty good game, but I think the Buccaneers take it.
Okay. Yeah, Spencer Rattler, huge question mark. Really talented. Number one quarterback coming out of high school, but there was problems with his attitude, I believe, and didn't really do much in college. Perhaps he can get back to what he's doing in high school and show that he actually has a lot of talent. Now let's move over to Chris.
I got to go Tampa. I think Tampa, Baker Mayfield and that squad is just something else, I think. The receivers he has, Evans and Godwin. Godwin's having a really good year, actually, this year. Maybe one of the best starts of a season he's had in his career. And New Orleans, again, just starting kind of an inexperienced quarterback, and they're going to have to definitely learn with him. I think it'll be a close game, though, because it's a divisional game, and both these teams are two of the better teams in the NFC South, but I got to go Tampa on the road.
All right, over to Adam.
Yeah, I got to go with Tampa Bay on the road as well, just because that Baker Mayfield's Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, we were talking Hunter. Yeah, most underrated player. So let's go over to you. Do you agree with that? Yeah.
I got the Tampa Bay in this one. But I am huge on seeing how Spencer Rattler does for the Saints. But I got to go Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I think depending on how Rattler plays, that might determine the future. Not sure if they really want to stick with Derek Carr long term, so this will definitely be a telling game from Rattler. Now let's move over to Ryan.
Yeah, I got the Bucs in this one. I like Baker Mayfield. He just fits the Buccaneers system, and he's just thrived there ever since he left the Browns and Panthers. I mean, his little stint with the Rams and McVay also helped him. Sometimes quarterbacks just need the new scenery and. They'll thrive then. System quarterback.
Yeah, I also have the Buccaneers in this game. Clean sweep for the Buccaneers. Do you guys think that we're going to see a Mike Evans and Marshawn Lattimore fight on the field on Sunday?
I hope so. I love it so much.
Part 10 of their jeez, those guys every time they get on the field.
It's awesome.
It's like
they text before the game. They're just like, hey, you want to fight today?
it's like OBJ and Josh Norman.
Oh, yeah.
Except it happens every time.
That was a good duo to watch.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, that Panthers-Giants game, I always go back and watch the highlights of those because it's just the fights,
so bad.
Yeah. Passion from both sides, I guess. Yeah. Now let's move on to our next game. We have Browns and Eagles. Browns coming in 1-4, Eagles 2-2. We're gonna start with Adam for this one.
Just because of how bad the Browns defense is, I'm definitely going with the Eagles. I just think Jalen Hurts is just going to run all over them.
Yeah, Browns, usually known for their defense, have not been good. I mean, it's probably why they're 1-4 coming into this matchup. Let's move over to Hunter.
Give me the Browns. Oh, not the Browns. Sorry. Give me the Eagles in this one.
I was going to say.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think the Eagles absolutely dominate this game. One thing, I do want Nick Chubb to come back so badly because he's on my fantasy team. He's just like sitting down there in the IR. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, I believe he is back to practicing.
Healthy. He's practicing. I just don't know when he's going to come back.
Although with how bad of an injury that was, I remember watching that live.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Destroyed his knee. So hopefully he can come back healthy. He's a star running back, so it's just great to see those players come back to playing. And let's move over to Ryan.
I just spaced out. Sorry, we're on the Eagles-Browns, right?
Yes, sir. we
Okay,
are.
okay. Well, Zach, you and I were right. We did see Jameis Winston play last week.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I think he's going to play again this week because the Browns are awful, and I think the Eagles just stampede over them. I mean, how long are the Browns really going to keep Deshaun Watson at the helm? I mean, you're paying him, was it $245 million?
Fully guaranteed too.
Fully guaranteed, yeah.
Crazy work.
I don't know why they would do that, but I think we see Jameis again this week.
All right. And
He was perfect last week, 1 for 1 for 16 yards.
yeah, I mean, that's Jameis Winston magic right there.
That it
You know,
is.
eating his W. You know? Yeah, I think that's probably the only reason that they haven't put Jameis in is because they're paying him
Yeah.
$250 million, and like they have to justify it somehow.
Yeah.
Just might be one of the worst contracts ever, but you know, topic for a different day. Let's move over to Alex.
Yeah, Deshaun Watson just isn't the answer. I think if they start Jameis, they might have a shot, because I do love Jameis Winston. Definitely one of my favorite players in the NFL right now, just off of his personality and stuff. But I'm taking the Eagles here.
All right, and Chris, I assume.
We got to go the Eagles
Yes.
because,
Yeah.
who would pick the Browns in this game? I know the Eagles have been struggling, but it's the Browns. And the Eagles, this could be a good game where they can maybe try some new things, honestly, because Cleveland is, well, so bad that you can try new things and probably get away with it. So I got to go the Eagles.
Yeah, I would agree. I think this kind of seems like a get-right game for the Eagles, just going up against a Browns team that's just not playing well. And move over to what I believe to be game of the week, Commanders and Ravens. Jaden Daniels, my guy, is balling. So who do you guys have in this matchup? We are going to start with Ryan.
I appreciate that. And my Jaden Daniels jersey is on the way. We got that one. It's on its way, and I'm gonna ride with the Commanders in this one.
Okay, yeah, definitely thinking about getting Jaden Daniels jersey myself. Let's move over to Hunter for this one.
I'm sorry, I'm going to have to go with the Ravens in this one. I look at the Commanders' schedule, and they've yet to play a good team. I'm sorry, but Jaden Daniels, I think he is very good, but when you look at their schedule, they haven't played any good teams yet. So this is going to be his first test, but all props to him. I hope he does well.
That's fair. This is definitely going to be the most difficult matchup and defense, I believe, that he has played so far. Let's go over to Adam.
Well, I'm a Jaden Daniels believer now. I'm definitely going with the Commanders, getting that, I would say, maybe a slight edge over the Ravens.
Okay, so you think probably by like a field goal?
By a field goal at least, yeah.
Gotcha. All right.
Hunter, the Commanders did kill the Cardinals though, 42-14.
Oh,
So
my
the Cardinals
God.
did kill the Commanders. Or the Commanders did kill the Cardinals.
Yeah, haven't played a good team. That was a pretty good game for Jaden Daniels.
Just say you're a Cardinals fan at this point, honestly. Just say it.
no.
Did you buy a Kyler Murray jersey with that, too?
I did. I almost bought a Marvin Harrison
Oh,
jersey.
okay.
Ooh.
Shout out DH Gate. I don't know if I can do that, but
All right, let's move over. Let's move over to Chris.
I got to stick with my boy Jaden Daniels and the
Ooh,
Commanders. I know the Ravens have been really good this year. Lamar is playing really good. Derrick Henry, that running duo. But I think this is a game where we really see what Jaden Daniels is made of. I know he's been playing great and stuff, but this is a really good team, in Baltimore. And I think Washington goes into Baltimore and gets the upset. And Jaden Daniels showing why he's Offensive Rookie of the Year this year.
All right, let's go over to Alex. Another Jaden Daniels believer over here, possibly.
I do really like Jaden Daniels. I do want to see how he fares against this Ravens defense, but I have to take the Ravens here in Baltimore. I think they're really tough defense. I do want to see how Jaden Daniels does against them, but I'm taking the Ravens.
Okay, so now we have, was that 3 Commanders and 2 Ravens? Right?
I picked Commanders. Chris
Ravens.
did Commanders.
Commanders, Ravens, Commanders, Ravens. I also picked the Commanders for this game. I'm a big Jaden Daniels fan.
Yeah.
I think we might low-key also have some Commanders fans in this room, possibly. So I don't have a coin flip prepared on my.
We don't need it. You went Commanders. So
I
it's
went
4-2.
Commanders.
So it's 4-2.
Oh, 4-2.
Yeah, so there's no tie.
Yeah, we're
Okay,
good.
I can't count. That is why I'm not an accounting major. So we're going to go with the Commanders for this one and move on to our next matchup, which is the Los Angeles Chargers and Denver Broncos. And we're going to start with Alex for this one.
I am becoming a Bo Nix believer. I think he's doing great in Denver right now, and Sean Payton too. He was yelling at him a little bit, but that was last week, 2 weeks ago. I don't remember.
It was last week.
Yeah, I think he's looking pretty good. Javonte Williams is getting back to his form we saw a year or 2 years ago. But yeah, I'm taking the Broncos here.
Okay, let's go over to Chris.
This one's a bit of a tough one for me. I think I'll go with the safe bet and say the Chargers. Bo Nix is. I think he's gonna get into a groove, and Denver isn't the best team. Especially you looked at that Jets game; they got the win, but it wasn't pretty. This is a very gritty team, but I think the Chargers take it. Justin Herbert and Jim Harbaugh. It sucks that they stripped Herbert of all of his receivers, but I mean,
Yeah.
I think they'll be fine. I think they got it.
All right, and over to the guy who's been telling us about Bo Nix all along. Let's go over to Adam. Who do you have in this game?
Well, I've said it once before. I'll say it again. I'm a Bo Nix believer, and my second favorite team, Broncos, are definitely getting the win over the Chargers this week.
All right, 2 for the Broncos, 1 for the Chargers. Go over to Hunter.
Give me the Broncos. Chargers coming off their bye week. I think they're going to be a little shaky, so I think the Broncos take this one at home.
Okay, wow, looking like the Broncos. Ryan?
Yeah,
what do you think?
I'm gonna echo what Hunter said there. The Chargers are 485, 491, and 11 off their bye week all time, which is a losing record, by the way. So I think the Broncos take this one. I agree with Adam. Big Bo Nix guy over here.
All right, crazy stat pull.
Yes.
And I also have the Broncos in this game. Looks like we're going to be taking Broncos.
I feel like
on the show.
Ryan last week when he picked the Cardinals, so that means the Chargers are going to win. We just know that.
So you have a lot of confidence.
Just say
the
you want to be
Chargers
me,
are.
Chris. Just say you want to be me.
I do want to be right.
Well, Chargers do win. I'm sure that you're going to come into the show next week with,
If they win, I'm buying a Justin Herbert jersey.
All right, I'm going to hold you to that.
You heard it here.
All right.
Yeah, you heard
Heard it
it
here first on Hawk Talk.
Yeah, we're going to keep him
Put that
accountable
down
for
on
that.
paper.
91.7 The Edge.
All right, moving on to our next matchup, we have the Steelers and the Raiders. A little bit of a, I don't really know what to call this game. Just like a not really watchable game, I guess. This is not a game that I would tune into personally. But we're going to start with Chris for this one.
I'm going Pittsburgh. Las Vegas is, they just don't have too much. Davante Adams is very disappointed with Las Vegas, wants to leave, and they're just having some struggles this year. New coach and stuff. Pittsburgh, they played pretty solid this year. I still maybe am not too convinced about them, and you're playing in such a good division with like Baltimore and Cincinnati. They got Joe Burrow, and he's playing great. It just sucks that Cincinnati's been having a rough go of it, but I think Pittsburgh gets the win over Las Vegas.
Okay, and let's go over to Alex for this one.
I'm taking Pittsburgh as well. Raiders had a pretty bad game against the Broncos last week. Their offense couldn't really get going other than Brock Bowers. I mean, Brock Bowers seems to be their entire offense right now. Alexander Madison looked pretty good, too, on the run game, but I have to take the Steelers. Raiders just don't look that great right now.
Yeah, and as a big Gardner Minshew fan, I've been a fan of him throughout his whole career. He just doesn't look good, which is sad to say because he's so cool. He's just a cool guy. But, yeah, didn't look great. Let's go over to Ryan.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Steelers as well here. Raiders are starting Aiden O'Connell this week. And, I mean, Aiden O'Connell, he's not a bad quarterback. It's just I think Fields has played very, very well for the Steelers. It was a tough game Monday into Tuesday night, right? That was Monday Night Football against the Cowboys, wasn't it? Or Sunday night?
No, it was Sunday night.
Okay, never mind. Sunday into Monday. My bad, excuse me.
Yeah, late game.
Yeah, it
Wow.
was a very late game. But I think the Steelers get this one done.
Okay. And Adam and Hunter, I'll have you guys make your picks at the same time because I would assume that you guys probably have the same pick here. Who do you guys have for this matchup?
I have the Raiders.
Oh.
Actually, no, I don't. I have the Steelers.
Oh, wow. I thought we would have a clean sweep for the Steelers. So then, Hunter, what makes you think that the Raiders are going to win this game?
I'm kind of seeing like what the Panthers did the other week to the Raiders. Throwing a new quarterback and everything just looks like it's going to work out well, and in reality, it's not. But I think the Raiders with O'Connell, I think they win this game, and then they go off the rails again. But I think they win this game.
Okay. Big game incoming for Aiden O'Connell. You guys heard it here. So, and you said you're going with the Steelers?
Yeah.
Okay. So then, looks like we are going to go with the Steelers as a group here. And moving on to what many people could also say is game of the week, the Lions and the Cowboys. Definitely a very interesting matchup. We're going to start with Hunter for this one.
I'm going to go Cowboys here. A lot of people are, what I'm seeing, 78% of people are picking the Lions, which is kind of crazy. I think the Cowboys are a very good team still. I saw some drama with CD and Dak going on again, and it's kind of like a Stephon Josh Allen situation over there now. It's kind of getting kind of ridiculous. But I got the Cowboys at home this weekend.
Okay, let's go over to Adam.
Actually, and as much as it pains me to say it as a Packers fan, I definitely have the Lions in this game. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to disagree with you. The Cowboys are just not good anymore. I mean, look what happened in the playoffs against the Packers. It just wasn't good. Now, granted, it was the Packers, but still, though, I just when you have a subpar to I would say like average quarterback in Dak Prescott. I don't know why you're paying him that much. I just don't think the Cowboys have it, honestly. So that's why I went with Detroit.
Yeah, Jerry Jones certainly seems to believe that he has the team for a Super Bowl, but that remains
Well,
to be
this is
seen.
Jerry Jones we're talking about.
It is, that dude's going to be 100 years old, re-signing Zeke when he's like 40 years old. Franchise player Ezekiel Elliott for the Dallas Cowboys.
How is he not 100 yet? That's my question.
I don't know. That dude, how old is that guy anyways?
Jerry
Gotta be
Jones?
80.
Oh my goodness. He looks older than he probably is, to be honest.
Jerry Jones is 81.
Yeah, Jerry Jones is 81.
He does not. He looks older than 81, to be honest.
Well, his birthday's
That's what
gonna
owning
be.
the Cowboys does to you. So.
Well, his birthday's going to be in 3 days, actually.
No, fair
Oh,
enough.
yeah, he'll be
Yeah,
82.
get that guy in office, right? Oh my god. Okay, well, we don't talk about politics here.
No, no,
We're not
no.
going to get into that.
No.
We're going to keep talking about football
don't
because that's what
condone
we
that.
that's what we talk about. Let's
That's
go over to
for
Chris.
Parker and his news segment.
You know the story with Dallas. They play a team that they're supposed to beat, they get the win. They play a team that's better than them, they just nope. So I got Detroit easily. Like Adam said, Dak Prescott just shouldn't be getting paid all this money. I think he's a decent quarterback, but he just hasn't shown that he can come up big with a team that's had the talent to win big, for years, and they haven't been able to win big. Only 2 playoff wins, I believe, over a Tampa team that wasn't too strong. That Tom Brady just wasn't the same guy that year, and then Seattle the other year. I got Detroit.
All right, 2 for the Lions, 1 for the Cowboys. Over to Alex.
I got Detroit as well for all the same reasons everyone else has been saying. I also took Sam Laporta over Trey McBride, so I hope it pays off soon. So, yeah, hoping the Lions get a good big win here.
Certainly. Let's finish up with Ryan.
Yeah, I got the Lions in this one as well. I think the Cowboys, they had a very tough battle with the Steelers, and obviously the conditions weren't great, but that's football weather. You got to deal with it, and I think the Lions get this one done.
I agree with you guys. I also have the Lions in this game. Lions are a team that I believe that's my Super Bowl pick actually for the
Okay.
preseason. I have the
Ooh.
Lions winning the whole thing.
That's a bold pick.
It is a bold pick. I know. I would
Wow.
ideally. I think I would love to see a Lions Texans Super Bowl. I think that would just be like a Super Bowl for the people. Not another
Get
Chiefs
Patrick
and
Mahomes out of
Niners.
there.
Yeah. Get
Yeah,
Patrick
no,
Mahomes.
no
Actually-
Taylor Swift this time.
See, Patrick
Not this year.
Mahomes he's gonna demand a trade to the team that is in the NFC Championship, and then whoever wins that, he's gonna join that team, and then he's gonna win the Super Bowl for that team.
There's
I
a
think-
trade deadline, Zach.
There is a trade deadline. Yeah, but it's Patrick Mahomes. He can do anything he wants.
that's true.
The refs will
Yeah.
let it happen. They'll
The
let him
refs-
walk
Roger
onto the
Goodell
field.
would just
Be like-
free pass.
Yep.
Patrick
Sounds about right.
Mahomes. Never heard of that guy, but
Magic ball.
all right.
Patrick Mahomes.
And we only have about 22 minutes left, so I would like to breeze through. We have 3 games left. I want to go rapid fire, so we have other stuff to talk about here on this show. So next matchup is Falcons-Panthers. I'm just going to point at you. We're going to go rapid fire. So who do you have in the game?
Falcons.
I might have Atlanta.
The Falcons.
Falcons.
Kirk O'Chain's in the Falcons.
All right. We're going to go with Big Kirko over the Panthers.
Oh, yeah.
Andy Dalton not going to have another win
The Red
this
Rocket.
week. The Red Rocket is not going to show up this week, apparently. Sunday night matchup, Bengals and Giants. Do you guys want to say this collectively, or do you guys...
Anybody got any
I had the
upsets?
Bengals.
Daniel Jones is not him, so
Yeah, Bengals.
Okay.
I have the Bengals.
I was going to say
yeah,
this
Bengals.
pretty obvious Bengals pick. We are not, aside from possibly a couple weeks ago, not many Daniel Jones believers. Sorry, Chris. And we got Monday Night Football, Buffalo Bills and New York Giants.
Jets.
The Jets.
Jets, you guys got Jets, really?
No.
Well,
You
no, that's who
said
they're playing.
Giants.
They're playing the Jets.
They're playing the Jets. You said Giants.
Like the
That's the
Bills are playing
Giants?
the
You
Jets.
did say Giants.
Oh my gosh, I got Giants on the mind. What am I doing?
I was
Okay.
say the Giants are playing the Bengals.
The Jets. Well, okay, they're 2 dysfunctional franchises that are in New York. So
Actually,
I
they're in East Rutherford, New Jersey.
Wow.
There's a lot of stuff going on with the Jets right now. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
Salah's out of
Fire
it.
I
their-
did
fire
not
their
agree with
coach.
what they did there.
Yeah,
No,
They had such
you
a
gotta-
good defense too.
You gotta fire Nathaniel Hackett. The
Yeah,
offense
how
is
did-
horrible.
How
Yeah.
did they keep Nathaniel Hackett? Like, I don't know
Somehow
why
finds
Aaron
a job.
Rodgers
I don't
trusts
know how
that
he
guy.
finds a job.
No idea.
Like-
yeah, only 5 games into the season, and Salah gets canned. I heard that Hackett is also demoted as the play caller. They're gonna have someone else calling plays, which hopefully
They
does
should
something
still
for the
fire
offense.
that guy. Just having him on the sideline is a crime.
Is Salah gonna get a DC job somewhere? You think? Because his defense, the
Yes,
defense
he
has
should.
always been
He should.
fantastic.
There's a lot of coaches that are like not good head coaches, but are good coordinators, and Robert Saleh is
Can
one
make
of
that a
those guys.
segment one
And
day, Zach.
Cliff too.
Cliff
Oh,
Kingsbury.
Yep,
Kingsbury,
yep.
yeah.
Yeah, he's been
Oh, yeah.
balling for the Commanders. So, I guess, who do you guys have in this game?
Bills.
Bills.
Those.
Josh
Jets.
Allen in the
You the
Buffalo
Jets.
Bills.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah,
What?
you were picking a lot of
I've
upsets
been
this
different.
week.
Yeah,
Oh my
I've been
goodness.
different this week. I
Okay.
have the Jets.
He's just built different.
He wants to be
Watch,
right.
watch him get every single
Yeah.
one right now. He's taking all the upsets. So it looks like as a group, we are going to go with the Bills. So just to recap, we have the Niners over Seahawks, Bears over Jaguars, Packers over Cardinals, Colts over Titans, Texans over Patriots, Buccaneers over Saints, Eagles over Browns, Commanders over Ravens, Broncos over Chargers, Steelers over Raiders, Lions over Cowboys, Falcons over Panthers, Bengals over Giants, and Bills over Jets. I feel like I was an auctioneer going through all those games. But anyways, now let's move on to, obviously we love talking about football, let's move on to other sports. Our next topic, preseason press, NBA season. We have right around the corner. So I want to get into a little NBA season preview. We're just seeing NBA teams in the preseason playing their first games. Rookies are starting to get some game action, and newly traded players such as like Karl Anthony Towns, Mikal Bridges are starting to see some action. So I want to open the floor to you guys to see what are we going to see this year? Who do you think is going to win MVP? Who do you think could make the finals and possibly win the finals? And some surprise teams or players to watch out for. And for this topic, we are going to start off with Adam.
Well, this may come as a surprise, but I don't have the Celtics winning it all this year. To be honest,
I hope not.
I did I did the research, and honestly, I think this is the year that OKC gets it done.
Oh, yeah.
I like
It's a
that.
good one. I like that
Okay.
too.
Yeah. I just think that with like when you have like a franchise player like SGA, and you have like Chet Holmgren, Alex Caruso, I mean, they have those pieces where they can win, and they also have pieces on the roster already that they can build on for like years to come. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go with OKC winning it this year. Now for the MVP, I mean, I narrowed it down to basically two guys. I narrowed it down to Luka Doncic, of course. I mean, how couldn't you? And of course Giannis, because he's the
Giannis,
guy.
okay.
He's the guy.
All right. You don't think SGA is in the running, even though you think the Thunder are going to win?
I mean, I would consider putting him in there, but if I had to choose two, it would either be Doncic or Giannis.
Gotcha. A lot of people thought last year that Doncic should win. I thought personally that SGA should have won last year. I thought
Yeah.
he was incredible offensively and defensively. People don't talk about it. He played both ways. Yeah, I think he was top 5 or top 10 in steals. Don't hate that pick. Thunder are definitely an up and coming team that could make some noise. Got rid of Josh Giddey. Got Caruso. Let's just say that's a very good upgrade for the Thunder.
Say, I'm not sad about that move.
So let's move over to Hunter. What do you think that we can see from this NBA season?
I'm gonna go with a bold prediction for the finals. I actually have the Knicks winning the finals,
Ooh.
which
Yeah.
is
I
That
actually
is
like
bold.
that.
It might
I
be
like
crazy,
that.
but
Don't hate it.
the addition of Mikal Bridges and Cat is just crazy to me. I mean, I saw a lot of people saying that they didn't need Cat, but I mean, it's Karl Anthony Towns. I mean,
You could
I would
use
want
it.
Karl
Just the
Anthony
addition
Towns
is just
on
insane.
the Bucks. I mean, seriously. But MVP for sure. I have Luka this season. He is outstanding. I honestly think that Luka could break. This is a crazy take. Break Wilt's record of 100 points in a game
Oh
if
my
he shot
goodness.
a lot of shots.
Really?
Wow.
I know.
That's
I mean,
bold.
he is
Very
a
bold.
scorer.
Okay.
He is a
Okay.
scorer. I
All
think
right.
he could do it if he got hot and took a lot of shots.
How many
All right.
shots would he have to take
Oh
to break
my,
that?
a lot.
At least 50.
A lot.
He made a
All
lot
right,
of
we need to
Oh,
move
do
you.
it.
All right,
I
we need to
think
move you
I'll do
here
it.
to the hot take seat. Like, we need to change seats right now.
I mean, that would be like the greatest thing of all time.
It
I mean,
would
people
be.
would never stop
It
talking
would-
about that
it
if that
would
be.
happened.
No.
Wow. All
Easy
right.
MVP.
Yeah, just going back to the Knicks, though, I don't hate that pick at all. They definitely made
Yeah.
so many moves. There certainly are contenders and are trading like they are
I mean,
contenders.
it's crazy to see what they came from. Like
Yeah.
5 years ago, they were awful, and now they're
Yeah, wow.
very, very good. I mean, that Jalen Brunson addition just flipped their team.
So what did you
completely
think
over.
then when you saw that they were trading for Cat? Did you think it was a good move, or was it a little bit Shaky.
It's a little bit shaky because they gave up Julius Randle, right?
They did.
Yeah,
And DiVincenzo.
and DiVincenzo, who are two very good assets to their team. But I think Cat is a great addition. I think he's an upgrade from Julius Randle. I will say that. But losing DiVincenzo is very, very sad for them.
I could not agree more. No Nova boys this year. They had it for what, couple months,
Yeah.
2-3 months, and not anymore. So,
Do you think he'll still be on the podcast?
ooh,
They have
that
a
is-
podcast.
That's a good.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, apparently they do.
not as much, but he still will be.
Yeah.
Because they'll be traveling around, so they probably won't be able to see each other as much. It's just sad, man. Just let the college team, let the college Nova boys play together.
Yeah.
All right, let's move over to Ryan. Who do you have this season? What can we see from this NBA season?
All right. So in 2023, we saw the Pacers, Magic, Mavericks, and Thunder all were under 500, and then proceeded to make the playoffs next year. This year's team is going to be the Rockets. I'm super high on the Rockets. Adding Fred VanVleet and Dylan Brooks just gives them like that competitive and like that nastiness that like you need in basketball for all 82 games. I think Jalen Green is going to have a huge season, Alperen Sengun, and then Amon Thompson I'm super high off the bench. I think the Rockets make a huge, deep playoff run, potentially to the finals. Like, you see these teams every year that go under 500 and then flip a switch and they just get hot. And I think the Rockets are that team this year.
So you think this is the year that the young core for the Rockets finally take a step forward? I mean, guys like Jabari Smith Jr.
Yes.
Haven't really broken out yet. I mean, they have Thon Maker on their bench. Oh my goodness! Shout
still
out Thon
plays?
Maker.
What?
Bucks. Yeah,
Thon
apparently
Maker's on the bench?
They're saying that they have Thon Maker on
What?
this lineup.
What? I did not see that.
Yeah, I mean he's only 27.
Yes, he is on the bench. Oh my gosh.
So Thon Maker's
Go
gonna be the
Rockets.
difference. Yeah,
Go
Rocket-
Rockets.
We're all
How is
cheering
he
for the Rockets
27
now.
years old?
Wait, what?
How is he not 47? This guy has been in the league forever.
Yeah,
Like-
it definitely feels that way.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah,
But
not, not to mention.
Rockets are the team this year.
Yeah, not to mention we have the rookie Reed Shepard. Do you think that was a good pick for the Rockets?
I think Shepard can really help the Rockets. I mean, obviously rookies in the NBA, a lot of them go to the G League first to like get settled in. You rarely see rookies step up and make an impact right away. I mean, obviously Wemby's 7'4", so he's gonna like, he's just a different breed. And
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
like, didn't Cade Cunningham play in his rookie year?
I believe you did, yes.
Yeah, like there's just a different breed of players that play. I mean, the Rockets have a very deep depth chart, so I don't think Shepard needs to play this year. I think, at least not right away. I think they can just roll with the team they have now, and they can be a surprise team that people look out for.
All right, Rocket supporter in the room, in the fishbowl. Let's move over to Alex. What are we going to see from this NBA season?
So I have the Thunder as well, and I also have the Knicks on my thing. I also do have the Mavericks. But just like the Knicks, I feel like just Jalen Brunson is just so good. He really is emerging as a top 10 player in the league, in my opinion. And his ability to score inside, considering his height, paired with his elite ability to shoot the ball, makes him virtually unguardable at times. And Jalen Brunson actually scored 210 points over a 5-game span in last year's playoffs, which is the most since Michael Jordan. And he's just such a smart player and continues to shine. I think this Knicks team is going to be a super team, and I think they can beat just about anybody in a 7-game stretch.
Okay, yeah, do not disagree with that. This is definitely, on paper at least, looking to be a very formidable team. Just going back to, you said you had Mavericks on your sheet. Do you think that move, getting Klay Thompson, do you think that is going to push them over the edge?
I think it definitely will. And along with Kyrie Irving, I think he's really settled into the perfect secondary scorer. And Luka is just one of the best scorers of all time, third in NBA history in career points per game. I think the Mavericks are once again going to be a great team heading into the finals here.
So is Clay playing the 3 then? Is he playing small forward? Then you run Luka, Kyrie, and Clay.
I would
Right?
have to assume.
Yeah.
And
Unless,
then you have Lively at the 5. Then wait, who's their 4? Is it Washington? PJ
Yeah,
Washington.
PJ Washington.
Okay. Yeah.
I haven't
Pretty good
really, heard if he's coming off the bench or not. They haven't said anything, so I assume that he's going to be starting.
Who?
Klay Thompson.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I mean, at this point, a lot of washed allegations.
He's still got 4 rings.
But yeah, true. Somewhere
have
out
four.
there, Klay Thompson's throwing up a 4 to someone that's insulting. But apparently, I mean, Mavericks, Luka's going to score over 100 points. So, I mean, we're
If not 100, he can break Kobe's record of 81.
okay. Yeah,
I can see that.
He's gotten
That's a
close to
little
that.
more
Yeah.
manageable.
He's gotten close to that multiple times.
Yeah.
I think he had just 70. Was it 70 on the dot last
I
season?
think so. I believe
I think so,
Or
yeah.
71.
Yeah, 70 on the dot.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
hey, you give him 50 shots. I mean, we'll see what he can do.
The Mavs depth chart has Clay playing the 3 right now.
Okay.
They have Luka, Kyrie, Clay, PJ Washington, and they actually have Daniel Gafford as the starting center.
Gafford, okay. Not Derek Lively. Wow.
No,
That's surprising.
I like Lively a lot better than Gafford personally.
Okay.
I think they're both solid though.
Yeah,
I
no,
would agree.
they have a good
Yeah, that's definitely true.
good front court.
All right, and now let's move over to Chris.
The Knicks and the Thunder, they're very convincing, especially the Thunder last year. That was a big jump up, and Gilgeous is, I think he's definitely a big MVP candidate this year. I think my two are Alexander and Doncic. People are talking about Giannis and Embiid and Jokic, but I think, especially in the NBA, after like a few years, it gets a little old hearing those names. So you got to have some new ones. So I think the two new ones we get is Doncic and Alexander, and I think that could very well be the Western Conference Finals, OKC and Dallas, and I think that would be a really good one. And out of the East, it's tricky. I don't want to say Boston, obviously, because it just, yeah. I have to go with the Knicks. I think this year they break the hump. Jalen Brunson is just, he's him. And you got Mikal Bridges, and Karl Anthony Towns now was a big a deal. Going back to that trade, getting rid of Julius Randle, I actually don't think was too big of a deal. I just think that Randle, he was solid, but I don't think he was a key asset for them. DiVincenzo, on the other hand, the chemistry he had, I think he was someone they'll miss a little bit, but I think Karl Anthony Towns coming in is enough with Bridges and Brunson to be a big contender in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. Talking about Julius Randle, he seems kind of more of a guy that wants to be the number one option, but I mean, obviously Jalen Brunson is the number one option,
Yeah.
so it kind of would be clashing personalities. So I definitely don't disagree with you on that. DiVincenzo, just like I said, Nova Boys, man.
Yeah,
But
they stole that from us.
I know. A couple teams I'm looking at this year. East seems to be pretty top heavy. I mean, it's going to be like the Celtics, the Knicks, the Bucks, like what we've seen the past couple years. Western Conference, I'm looking at the Grizzlies this year. I think the Grizzlies
I
getting
actually
job
like
back.
that, yeah.
Yeah, I think that, well, if they're healthy, I mean, they definitely can make a run. I believe they were either top 5 or top 3 seeding the year prior to last year when they were all healthy. I think they could definitely make a run. And Timberwolves, I really want to see the Timberwolves make it over the hump. But now with Julius Randle and DiVincenzo, it just kind of makes it just a weird trade for them. I was not expecting them to be sellers, having Cat, and almost making it to the championship. I don't know why you would trade away one of your star players, but yeah, it certainly seems to be a very interesting NBA season. And with 7 minutes left, we're going to move on to our final topic, which is college football frenzy. We aren't going to be able to get too much into the college football state, but we've seen a very interesting season so far. Number 1, 4, 9, 10, 11, and 22. All ranked teams lost last week, which was insane.
That was insane.
It was.
It was exciting to watch.
It was,
Yeah,
definitely.
it was.
So,
Go Vandy.
Go Vandy.
Yeah, throwing the like that goalpost into the river.
I know that was really cool to see. I thought that was awesome.
What was that, like a 3-mile walk or something?
I think so.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably had a couple brewskis in them, to help them
how
on
do you
that
get
journey.
that out of the stadium?
That's what I was thinking.
I don't know.
Like what?
What entry? Where did they exit?
They throw it over the top of the stadium.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah, walked it over like up on the bleachers
Oh,
and
wow.
tossed it over the side. Yeah. Yeah, I saw
Good
people.
catch.
Yeah, you'd think that the goalpost, you think that they'd like install it.
Cemented in the ground.
Yeah, right?
Is it not?
People just jumping on it, hanging on it, that just takes it down.
Exactly.
Come on, what are we doing?
I don't know.
Anyway, with only 6 minutes left, we are going to basically just talk about who we think could win the Heisman and who we think could win the Natty. We're not going to be able to get into important matchups like Oregon, Ohio State, Texas, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, and LSU. Huge matchups. We're going to start with Hunter for this topic. Who do you think is going to win the Natty, and who do you think is going to win the Heisman?
I think the national championship, I got Texas winning it. And Heisman, seriously, Ashton Jeanty.
Yeah.
He is
Okay.
winning
Yes.
the Heisman.
Yeah.
This guy
Is everyone just going to
insane.
say Ashton Jeanty?
I think so.
Yes,
I
am.
can see him being a top 10
I
NFL
am.
draft pick, too.
We all
and
are,
He is
I think.
absolutely insane.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, he is at Boise State, but I don't care. He is the life of Boise State.
He's a different
amazing
breed.
to watch.
I mean, dude's putting up video game numbers. I mean, I can't even do this in college football 25.
I mean, this guy is
Absolutely
crazy.
insane.
You're,
And-
you're telling me Zach Kreider's not going for 2,000 rushing yards in a season?
See, but that's Russian. I like to throw the ball. I'm not much of
Okay.
a runner, man.
Yeah.
So I like throwing the
You
ball.
got
I
to
like
air it
chucking
out,
deep.
you know.
Exactly.
Yeah, Ashton GT carrying the Boise State to I believe 17. They're number 17, 4-1,
Yes.
second in the Mountain West Conference.
Yeah. The ol-
Definitely a guy I'm going to be looking at for fantasy football next year.
The only thing that
potentially.
would stop him is an injury, and if he gets injured, then I'd give it to Travis Hunter.
All right, yeah, I would definitely agree. Over to Adam. Who do you have?
I'm basically like carbon copying him. I'm going with Texas winning it all, and I have Ashton Genty from Boise State winning it. I mean, he has 1,031 rushing yards in just 5 games,
Yeah,
like with 16 touchdowns.
yeah.
Like how? Like he bounces off defenders like it's nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much all the defensive coordinators can do is just say how. I mean, how do you stop the guy? You really can't.
You just can't.
Yeah, you load the box, and I mean, he still finds his way to like an 80-yard touchdown. So, you do have Texas as your natty pick. So, with that being the case, do you think if Ewers comes back, do you think they start him, or do you think they stick with Arch Manning?
That's tough, honestly, because I mean, Arch Manning's been a really good replacement for him, but I think that's tough, honestly. I would probably put a Quinn Ewers back in there, but that's just me, though. I mean, I really don't know.
Okay.
Like
yeah.
they're both good.
For
Like they're
sure.
both good options.
Yeah, definitely a potential quarterback controversy. And let's move over to Fishbowl. Chris, who do you have?
I'm gonna sound like a broken record. I think I have to go with the Texas Janty pick too.
Okay.
And again, if Ashton doesn't win, Travis Hunter is the backup. But
Yeah.
Texas has been so good this year, and I don't know. That's all I gotta say. And if about the Ewers Manning thing, I think you do put Ewers back in when he gets healthy, and also. How did Manning get this? Where did he get the speed from? You know,
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Peyton or Eli were particularly
it was
fast back in their
Cooper.
day.
Had to be Cooper.
Yeah, Cooper. I mean, didn't get injured. Could have been a dog, man. We could have seen like a white Lamar Jackson, out there.
that would be something.
All right, let's move over to Alex.
Yet again, I do have Ashton Genty. It's just absolutely insane. Just like looking at his stats, he is already 1,000 yards through 5 games rushing, which is absolutely insane to me. 10 yards a carry, almost 11 yards a carry. And then, yeah, Travis Hunter would be second. And then I'd also have Texas as well. I think you keep Quinn in when he comes back. I think you could even have a little bit of a QB battle going in practice maybe because Manning looks really good as well. But, yeah, Texas and Ashton Genty.
Okay. And over to Ryan. Are you going to follow the trend of both the Heisman and the Natty pick?
I'm going to be a half a broken record here. I'm picking Genty for
Okay.
Heisman, but I don't like to pick the number 1 ranked team to win it all because it's just like sports are so unpredictable. Like
Yeah.
the number 1 team is not always going to be the greatest. I mean, the Dodgers could fall tomorrow night for all we know.
Yeah.
And the Padres win it all. But that's baseball. We're not talking about that right now. For my natty, I got Penn State or Oregon going. I mean, the Big Ten now is just
Penn
crazy.
State, really?
Penn State or Oregon.
Okay.
Dude, you put Penn State or Oregon in the natty chip, it's going to be a great game
They
to
wouldn't
watch.
buy a Penn State jersey.
I am not buying a
Have to.
Penn State.
You have to.
Yeah, Penn State is ranked number 4, just below Oregon, who is number 3. Oregon's playing Ohio State this week. Who do you have in that game?
Where is
Ohio
that?
State has not played any ranked opponents yet.
I have Oregon.
Oregon, yeah, who is at home for that
Wherever
game?
it's at.
It's at Ohio State, I think.
Yeah. No,
It-
it's. I'm pretty
It
sure
is actually in Oregon.
Oh, it is in Oregon. Okay,
Oregon versus
I got
Ohio State.
Oregon because Ohio State has not played any ranked opponents yet, and like anything, like Oregon, they seem like the better team.
Mm-hmm.
Dylan Gabriel's him.
Yeah.
I was thinking about Ohio State, but I think I'll go Oregon.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Definitely a very interesting slate this week and looks to be a very great college football season. We unfortunately are going to have to end it here. You've been listening to 91.7 The Edge WSUW Whitewater and tuning in to UWW TV on YouTube. Again, thank you guys for tuning in as always. We love talking sports with you guys and for you guys. And we're going to send it back to some music and hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day.